up as here guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Short boot taken at the 21. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Kaiser. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Open man. Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Now they'll bootleg it with Kaiser. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Watch the slant.
Kaiser on 1st down. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
Get ready. 44.
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 14. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing on 2nd down, Kaiser to the end end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On third down, Kaiser. It'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Let's get it. 44, Mike, come on. Here we go.
Fourth down, Kaiser. And that is going to be incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. First carry for Leonard Fournette. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 17-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He'll check this one off to Fournette. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the draw, this is Fournette. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And the Steelers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
44, Mike, 44.
Operating from the gun, Kaiser. And he connects with Ertz. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. Had nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Kaiser finding room at the 30. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Kaiser. Flushed out right, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Kaiser, flush to his right. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
To throw, Kaiser. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down leads to 1st and 10. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A pass there complete to Westbrook. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, a bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Scott. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Kaiser from his end zone on third down. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And got his man complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Kaiser. Fells has it, left side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Kaiser to throw it. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Finding Fells complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Kaiser now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Kaiser. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Kaiser. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Incomplete. He was defended by Jalen Ramsey.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Kaiser. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Intended for Equanimeous St. Brown. Sets up 4th down.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even...
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 27-yard line.
Watch the run. Check your hot read.
On 2nd and 12, Kaiser, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
On 1st and 10, Kaiser. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But now it's third down.
Yards to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To the air again, Kaiser. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. He's got a first down and more past the 30 and all the way up to the 31-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Trevor Williams with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Steps away to his left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Now we're going to get a stoppage as that looks to be Kaiser who's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down. McSorley from the shotgun. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing a 2nd and a bundle. Here's McSorley to throw. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. He completes it to Westbrook. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. The open man is Westbrook. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
3rd and 2, here's Jackson. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Jackson forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
3rd and long.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is right there. It's good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own.
And he coughed it up. And the Jags grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Jackson now. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 6-yard line.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Here's Fournette. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And this one is right through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. Here's
a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Mike Alpha. I got wide. 44, Mike, 44. Get it.
3rd down, they're going to throw for it with McSorley. And he connects with Ertz.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. McSorley, 1st and 10. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. No problem there on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Jackson to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperate, and that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook, his second touchdown of the night, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Point after, up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
66 first. Hey, Charlie.
Back to throw. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Back to throw. Finding fouls complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One,
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. McSorley sets to pass. And this is caught by Fells, right side. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Well, a little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is, if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Come on, boy. You don't travel. Don't be scared.
Off of play action, it's McSorley. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Josh Allen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Throwing is McSorley. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. Again, it's Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now what can Jackson do here at overtime? That's out to his running back, Fournette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson, and it is incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Scott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
On the ready. Come on, 44 is Mike. Check. Watch the run.
They go again with Scott. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On the carry, this is Scott. And an alley to run. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you.